I've really learned how to push myself here. I still haven't decided between law school and Wall Street, but it'll come. I can remember when I first came here, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I'm glad I chose Adelphi. I mean, I wanted a small college atmosphere, but what I really needed was a university big enough to try some courses like film writing and computer science. Still, as big as Adelphi is, I never felt lost here. I never had a professor who didn't know my name, or one who wouldn't take the time to help me. I really like it here. It's got everything I want. But you know, sometimes I just can't wait to graduate. I guess it's sort of like my running. Once you get started, you can't wait to see how far you can go.
Adelphi. Our students succeed. Adelphi is comprised of 8 schools with more than 80 majors. Call or write for more information. Adelphi, the great university on Long Island.
If you're thinking of installing a new TV or CB antenna, there's something we hope you'll keep in mind. Power lines. Every year, some people don't, and the results are tragic. Select the site for your antenna carefully, so if it falls while you're installing it or even years later during a windstorm, it won't come down on a power line. It's an important precaution, especially when you consider the consequences. Treat electricity with respect. There are lives on the line.
Come into Genovese and you'll know you're in a real drugstore.
There's a warm, friendly feeling through and through Genovese, and it's telling you we're doing everything we can do. We'd like to be your prescription store, cosmetics, vitamins, and more. 'Cause Genovese is a real drugstore. You're in a real drugstore, Genovese.
Asking the important questions, man's process of education through the ages. At St. John's, this process continues today in an atmosphere designed for people interested in a university education. St. John's offers students innovative and relevant programs in the arts and sciences, business, education and human services, pharmacy and allied health professions, career-oriented programs, and the law. At St. John's, you'll learn not only how to ask the important questions, but how to get the right answers.
You're back at C.J. Donnelly Field here on Long Island, and you're looking at St. John the Baptist come back. But before we get ready for the second half, Barry Landers took a look last week at the St. John's Hofstra's football game. We put together a little tape on Todd Jamison, their quarterback. Let's take a look at that tape now.
Last week, LISN viewers saw one of the most exciting and dramatic football games ever played on Long Island. The Hofstra Flying Dutchmen taking on the St. John's Redmen in a wild scoring contest. The game featured a combined total of 95 points scored, a Hofstra record. Another Hofstra record was tied when freshman Charles Veneziano ran this kickoff back 100 yards in the first quarter. The touchdown run put Hofstra back in the game, a game that they were trailing 14-0. But the day really belonged to St. John's quarterback Todd Jamison. The All-Long Island quarterback from Huntington High was 18 of 32 for 227 yards, including this touchdown pass to Chris Esposito. He carried 23 times for 131 yards, including a 1-yard scoring play. A 5-yard run. Another 1-yard dive. And this most exciting play of the game, and perhaps most exciting play of the year, a wild, scrambling 89-yard touchdown run. And last but not least, in the waning moments of the game, with St. John's trailing 46-42, 4th down and 3, no timeouts left, this last all-out effort brought St. John's a 49-46 victory. Just an amazing effort by an amazing young man, Todd Jamison. And for Jamison, a school record 5 touchdowns rushing and the honor of being named ECAC Division III Player of the Week. Congratulations, Todd Jamison of St. John's.
like to be your prescription store. Cosmetics, vitamins, and more. Genevieve's is a real drugstore. You're in a real drugstore. Genovese is a real drugstore. Genovese is a real...
Here's a word to the wise about kite and model airplane flying. Pick an open field, well away from power lines. Those little metal control wires on a model airplane, or even a damp kite string, could conduct high-voltage electricity right down to you, with tragic results. If a kite should tangle a power line, don't try to retrieve it. Believe me, it's not worth it. Treat electricity with respect. Even Ben Franklin stayed away from power lines.
You're back at C.J. Donnelly Field here in Long Island for the second half of the Catholic High School Soccer Championship game between Chaminade and St. John the Baptist. There's the only scoring in the first half. It was Cole from McKenna at the 3-minute mark. It's 1-0 Chaminade, and we're ready to go in the second half. Chaminade in the red, going from left to right on your screen, and here we go. One of these teams is going to walk off this field a champion in about 40 minutes. We'll have a throw-in. There's John Cole, number 13, the man who scored the goal. Good throw-in over the head of everyone. Chasing it down for St. John's is number 8, Danny Caruso. I think it's for the keeper.
I think Cassani should have come out a little bit quicker to take that ball.
St. John's now will build, trailing by a goal. Let's see if they change their strategy here, Brother Gary. You think they will?
I do think they're going to go wider. They just haven't been wide enough during the first half of the game.
Ball tipped into touch. There are the stats of the first half, Brother Gary, on the monitor. There, shots, Chaminade outshot by St. John's. Chaminade had the advantage in the corner kicks, more fouls to St. John's, and one more save for St. John's. But the only stat of major importance is the score.
That's right. Towards the end of the first half, St. John's was mounting a better attack than they had earlier.
Here comes St. John's again. Number 5, Frank Carruthers. 5 goals on the year. Now Chaminade. Both teams coming out with a little more enthusiasm. Look at Danny Mueller. Steal the ball away. Mueller in front. And it just misses the far post. A tremendous effort by Danny Mueller, number 7. And I hope we can get another look at that one. That was a beautiful play by Danny Mueller. Let's take another look at it, Brother Gary.
Yeah, Danny came in and took that ball. He took that ball, and it was a nice shot, just a little bit wide. He's always in the ball game. There's not enough movement off the ball. There's not enough anticipation.
Chaminade in control. Johnny Cole, number 13, with a ball in the middle of the field, and it's knocked away. Cole again in the air. It comes down. Chaminade with a goal lead in the championship game. Here's a ball in the box, headed away by Weisenegger and taken by St. John's. They clear it back to the midfield area, but it's Chaminade in control. Here's a shot that will sail wide. It'll be a goal kick coming up for St. John's.
Chaminade certainly came out like tigers in the second half, haven't they?
Well, we talked about emotion. That's what they base a lot of their attack on. They are a team. Ken Germano said there are no stars on my team. We are a team in its entirety. We will either win or lose as a team. And that concept is a good one, and it works well on the high school level. Here comes Chaminade, number 16, John Scalaferri. And the keeper has it again. Jason Cassani, a junior. He's played well in this game.
Once again, I have to remark that Chaminade has St. John's playing its type of ball game. You'll notice that St. John's is pinching in much more than they ordinarily would.
Here comes St. John's again. They could have a break here. Getting back for it is that man again, Bob Cullen. Defensive standout in this game so far. He's been just right on that right fullback. He's been there to kick the ball away. High punt to the near side. St. John's trying to gain. There's an obvious foul. Paul Bernier. And we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this. You're watching the Long Island Sports Network.
Come into Genevieve's and you'll know you're in a real drugstore.
There's a warm, friendly feeling through and through Genovese, and it's telling you we're doing everything we can do. We'd like to be your prescription store. Cosmetics, vitamins, and more. Genevieve's is a real drugstore. You're in a a real drugstore. Genovese.
You're back at C.J. Donnelly Field. You didn't miss a thing while you were away. The ball loose in midfield. Bob Pizzamenti along with brother Gary Gaynor. And we'll be joined by a couple of soccer coaches who are here doing some scouting. Here's a loose ball and an empty net to shoot at. And number 10, Dan Federico, just got a little bit under it and hit it over the crossbar, but he had plenty of net to shoot at.
Oh, I bet you wish he had that shot back again, Bob.
Free kick coming up. We'll be joined a little bit later by the assistant coach of Adelphi and by the head coach of St. John's. They'll be joining us here periodically throughout the second half. Throw-in coming up. Number 16 for Chaminade will take it. John Scalafuri.
Beneri's taking that throw-in, Bob.
Here it is in the box, headed away. And into touch again, so we'll do it again. What about from Chaminade's point of view, brother Gary? What would they want to do differently in the second half?
I think they just want to apply the pressure to St. John's. I think they don't want St. John's to be able to settle. They don't want them to get the short pass. They want them to play a game that's much quicker than the game they'd like to play. And so far, they've been able to do it.
There's a foul. Joining us now in the booth is the head soccer coach of St. John's University in his first year, Freddie Agnostikas. Agnostikas. I'm sorry, Freddie. Welcome to the booth.
Glad to be here.
Are you out here scouting?
You bet I am.
You see anybody out there you might like?
Most definitely. I'm very interested in the American player, in particular the boy from Long Island, and I'm trying to build a program, and I'd like to go homegrown.
You've had a good year. You're waiting to see now if you're going to get a bid to the playoffs. What about that?
That's the exciting part about being at St. John's. We're affiliated with the Big East, along with UConn, our national champion, Syracuse, who I believe is currently ranked 10th, and BC, who's ranked 19th. 7 o'clock this evening, I'll be sitting by the phone. Hopefully we'll get that bid.
All right, and there's a good chance in front, but Tim Donahue was there to pick up the loose ball. Freddie's going to stay with us here in the booth for a few minutes, and we'll be picking up some comments on him. Don't hesitate to hop in here and add your piece. Here's a kick by Donahue. He's looked good in goal.
It was certainly a nice ball delivered across the goal mouth by St. John's, but they had nobody there to put it in the net for them.
St. John's the Baptist High School in the white uniforms. Jason Kisani. Jason's been kicking the ball very, very well today. There's Jim Hill, number 3, marked closely by Dan Mueller. And now Bennett will send it back on goal. 34 minutes left in the second half, regulation time. 1-0 Chaminade leading. And the ball going to Bennett on the far side. Can he keep it in play? Yes, he does. Hill and Bennett play a little one-touch. Good one-touch soccer there. Here's Pace with a header in the air. And Chaminade now in the center circle.
Now you'll notice that St. John's, St. John's has dropped into a 4-4-2 formation. They have 2 forwards up, and they should be sending down their overlapping their halfbacks.
Bill Ferry that time tried to push it through. Here's a ball outside the area, but we've got a whistle. And they're calling it against Chaminade, number 10, Dan Federico.
Nice try, Dan.
He did put his body into it. That's what they called on him while he was jumping up. Who else? Bob Cullen is on the back line to save the day for Chaminade. And the ball goes into touch. We're going to take a quick break here. We'll be right back with more. You're listening to and watching Soccer on the Long Island Sports Network.
Come into Genovese and you'll know you're in a real drugstore.
There's a warm, friendly feeling through and through Genovese, and it's telling you we're doing everything we can do. We'd like to be your prescription store, cosmetics, vitamins, and more. 'Cause Genovese is a real drugstore. You're in a real drugstore, Genovese.
You're back at C.J. Donnelly Field, and that's the position that we have to look at this game. And it's been a great one so far, Brother Gary.
It certainly has. Chaminade just had a goal call back.
Going to get another look at that little bit of excitement you just heard. There's Cole on the throw-in for Chaminade. Now watch what happens here. Cross in the area.
There's an offside call. There's an offside call on that.
Offside call. It would have been a lovely goal had it counted. Now Chaminade trying to clear it back. A nice play that time by John Earhart. Sends it up the touchline. Chaminade seems to be in control. So a goal taken away from them on an offside call. Danny Mueller volleyed it. It hit the crossbar, and he got the good part of it as it bounced down and into the net. But it does not count. 1-0 Chaminade. Look at Donahue. Catch it and punt it in one fluid motion. Down in the center circle. Battle for the ball. It's a whistle. Oh, it goes against St. John's. Well, sometimes the calls even out. Again, there you can see us in the booth. There's Brother Gary in the middle and Coach Freddie Agnosticus from St. John's University with us in the booth. We welcome both men. There's a punch ball out by Jason Cassani. Another drive blocked in front. A third drive, and it slapped wide of the goalpost. A good save.
Nice save by
Jason
Cassani.
Cassani.
That was a beautifully placed shot to the far post. Chaminade is very, very aggressive in the air. They're very good in the air, and they're trying to create that broken play.
Let's take another look at it. Coach from St. John's, why don't you take this one?
Okay, he hits it well, hits it low where it belongs. The keeper's there, makes a beautiful save. Beautiful soccer between the attacking player and the keeper.
Freddie, what about the keepers? You've seen both keepers punt, throw, make some saves. What about them?
Well, I'm very impressed with the Chaminade keeper.
Tim Donahue.
Yeah, he punted a ball at least, I'd say 60, 65 yards. He's got good technique, he's got good form, and he's very strong.
Free kick coming up for St. John's.
Looks like Chaminade is certainly gaining an awful lot of confidence in this half.
They're very, very aggressive on the ball.
They've got to be. They're down by a goal in a championship game. If you're not aggressive now, you're going to be thinking about it all night. Here comes St. John's again. Number 18, Willie McDermott. Cleared away again by Chaminade. Now it's going to be a little of kick and run here. It's Cassani waiting for the ball. Cassani thought about distributing with his hand, decided to punt, and he finds his man in the circle. That's McDermott. Now it's taken back by Chaminade, headed away.
There's that front running that Chaminade loves to use, and they definitely play the air ball.
It's been to their benefit so far today.
Not only does it benefit them in a positive way, it certainly destroys the type of game of many of the teams that they're playing, and this is really what's giving them control of the ball game.
There's a ball in the area, headed away. Who's going to get to it here? Chaminade with a chance. Mueller, the left-footed drive, but he couldn't get his foot on it, and he just did tap it, and the save was an easy one for Jason Cassani.
That particular style of play will create a lot of confusion in the defense, keep the keeper moving, and hopefully they'll wait for that break.
Got a quick look at the brain trust of St. John the Baptist, and a big collision right there. We've got a foul. It'll go St. John's way. Danny Caruso. Cassani has made 5 saves today. Earhart sends it back for Tim Donahue.
I think you're going to see St. John starting to play the long ball. I think they're getting frustrated at this point. Chaminade seems to be controlling the game. So I imagine St. John's is going to start trying to bring that ball up a lot further than they're used to.
Now Chaminade will put it in play. Second half, 1-0. Chaminade trying to win the championship for the first time in a long time with a first-year coach. And Fred, you should know about first-year coaches. How hard is it for a first-year coach to win a championship?
Extremely difficult. It's a tremendous challenge. In particular, we were down at Navy, and we beat Navy 3-2 in overtime with 17 seconds, and it's just awesome.
It's got to be a great feeling for Ken Germano if he can hang on and do it. Meanwhile, on the other side, Brother Gary, you've got a man that's been here so many times before, it's almost like part of his daily routine.
I guess you're talking about Tommy Buchlas.
Of course.
Well, Tommy's a little bit frustrated at the moment. Can't seem to generate any offense.
28 minutes to go in the second half, and we'll be back with more right after this. You're watching the Long Island Sports Network.
In an electrical emergency, the right information can save your life. A downed power line on a crashed car can be deadly to both victims and bystanders. So if you're inside the car, stay there. If you're outside, don't touch the car because contacting both the car and the ground could be fatal. Call the fire department and the power company. They're trained to handle the emergency. Treat electricity with respect. There are lives on the line.
You're back at C.J. Donnelly Field. Bob Pizzamenti along with brother Gary Gaynor and Fred Agnosticus from St. John's University. As we're bringing you the Long Island Catholic School Soccer Championship here at St. Anthony's in Smithtown. All right, while we were away, we had a save, but let's take a look at what happened here.
Chaminade's going for the far right corner, going for the far post.
Look at this extension. Great save.
Finally goes right out and gets the ball.
Good save. Now we've got a throw-in coming up on the far side. You know, we talked before about Chaminade, but let's talk a little bit about the defense. Chaminade, even though they've scored 83 goals, St. John's the Baptist has only given up 9 goals in 17 games, including 12 shutouts. That's a tremendous defensive season.
It certainly is.
Mueller, who has had 22 assists on the regular season, has yet to get one today, sends it all the way down. St. John's setting it up.
Nice ball work there.
Weisenegger was the one for St. John's, and now John Cole, the man with the only goal. He's got a man in the middle. Can he see him? No, he took too long looking down at the ball. If he picked up his head, he would have seen number 3, Tom Amirati, wide open in the center of the field.
He had his head down. He should have passed it, but when he didn't pass it, he still didn't give up. When they tried to take the ball away from him, second effort, he took the ball, passed it into the middle of the field. That's what I'm talking about, Chaminade going at you for 80 minutes. They're not going to give up.
St. John's kicks it ahead. It's headed back by Chaminade. A chance here for Amirati, but he was tackled off the ball. St. John's sends it back down the other way.
Oh, nice move.
Tackled off. 7 shots for both teams so far. We've got about 26 minutes or so left in this second half. 1-0 the score. Look at the tackle by John Cole. He just neatly took it away and sends it ahead. If he's onside, he might get free. That's Amirati, but getting back to it, the keeper came out to meet it, and also there on the play was Willie McDermott, just to keep an eye on things. Ball headed away in the circle. Again, we've had a lot of midfield play here. Who would you say has had the better of the midfield play, Brother Gary?
Well, right now in the second half, I'd say that Chaminade has been dominating the game. St. John's is letting the ball run too far on them.
By that you mean?
They're letting the ball get too far out in front of them when they're dribbling.
Okay, look at Bob Cullen. That was a great play.
St. John's thought they would get an obstruction call on that.
Yep, and they might be right, but
when the defender put his hands out, he indicated he was obstructing.
I'll tell you, it's obstruction if they call it in a bad
play. Not
play.
Obstruction when they don't.
If they don't, he made a super play, and Cullen has been super on the back line. Mueller chases it to the far side, but Bennett gets there first. Bennett with the right foot up ahead.
Oh, nice pass.
Look at Cullen again, and he'll steer it back on goal. Earhart observing number 5.
St. John's is starting to put 2 or 3 passes together in the midfield, but they are not finishing when they get up to the forward line.
Tim Donahue tested really only that one flurry in front when he had 2 in-close saves, but he certainly rose to the occasion. Throw in for Chaminade. Now you can see the calls going Chaminade's way. Here's a ball going high in the air. Number 16, John Scalaferi. And now back to St. John's. Good pass to the near side. Here's a break for St. John's. P.J. Maloney. Marked by Earhart. They'll go 1-on-1. Now 1-on-2. Maloney got a little confused and sent it back to midfield. Now nice back for St. John's. Is he onside? No, he's not. Offside. But I'll tell you what, even had he been onside, Freddie, I think the keeper would have got to it first.
I think so. I think he was ready for that, and he anticipated it well. Previously before that, number 12 here, he made a beautiful collection with his thigh and pushed the ball down. I'm very impressed with the technical work of St. John's.
23 minutes to go.
On that offensive play, had they brought the ball out further to the left wing, they would have had a chance on goal, but they brought the ball too far into the center, which is what they've been doing all day.
Ball goes into touch. It'll go to Chaminade now on the throw-in. Far side of the field, number 14, John Jacobak will take it. St. John's getting back on defense now. You can watch Chaminade. There's John Jacobak waiting to throw it in. Some of Chaminade's players making runs. They're moving away from the ball, and that's only going to create open space. Here's a shot. Another shot blocked in front. Still fighting for the loose ball. There's a whistle, and it'll go against Chaminade there. That time a little bit too aggressive for Bill Ferry. I think Ferry just knocked at the door too many times. In just a few moments, joining us up here will be the Adelphi assistant coach, Paul Lesueur. He'll stand by. of course, we're joined in the booth now by Gary and also by Freddie Agnosticus from St. John's University.
You know, St. John's, when they couldn't get an offensive play generated, they brought the ball back to the goalkeeper who distributed it to the opposite side of the field, and they're trying to bring the ball down the right-hand side. Now they're spreading it out.
There's a chance for St. John's. Maloney's open. Can he control it? Shooting, and it's over the goal. I'll tell you what, he was wide open, and all he had to do was control the ball, but he got a difficult ball to control, Fred.
Beautiful collection. Very, very difficult. He was pressured, and he just miskicked it.
Fred, do you think the wind is starting to have an effect?
I think so. What I'd like to see is St. John's put the ball down, play 1-2 touch, group around the ball, and have the preparation. Come from the back, keep the ball low, because Chaminade loves the air game.
This is what Chaminade's not allowing them to do right now, though.
We've got another foul. It's been a clean game, Brother Gary.
Basically, it's clean.
Very hard fought and clean.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this. You're watching the Long Island Sports Network.
You have the need to know about the prescription drugs you take, and Genovese drugstores have the desire to tell you.
That's why you'll find this prescription information book in every Genovese store, filled with details on medications prescribed most. It tells in simple language what each drug is for, possible side effects, and much more. Genovese is the first drug chain to offer this information because you have the need to know, and we have the desire to tell you. Genovese, this is a drugstore, a real drugstore.
You're back at C.J. Donnelly Field here in Smithtown. Bob Pizzamenti along with Brother Gary and also with Freddie Agnosticus from St. John's. And Freddie, thanks for taking the time to join us today, and good luck on that bid.
It's my pleasure to be here, and I'd really like to have some of these Long Island boys join us in the Big East.
Okay, good luck. Good luck to you, Fred.
Right.
All right, we thank Fred for joining us, and Brother Gary Gaynor.
So many times in high school ball, you'll see that when the ball gets into the penalty area, a ball player will try a bicycle kick. That is a dangerous play in high school because you're guaranteed to have somebody within 6 feet of you, and the referee will always call it.
Do you want a player at this age to try a bicycle kick?
Not particularly, no. I would prefer to see them settle the ball and take the shot.
Okay, and now joining us in the booth and is the assistant coach at Adelphi, Paul Lesor. And Paul, welcome to the booth, and thanks for coming up to see us.
Thank you very much.
Paul, are you out here looking at anybody in particular, or are you just enjoying the game?
Well, no, we're definitely, Adelphi's interested in a couple of the players on both teams, and plus I'm enjoying a real good game here. Some great skills here.
1-0 game here. What have you seen as been the as some of the more outstanding things that have stood out in your mind in this game?
Well, I think that Chaminade right now, they're playing like a 5-back game. They've been playing it the whole game, and St. John's hasn't made an adjustment at this time. They're finding it very hard to get the ball up into the penalty box, and I think it's because they're at a numerical disadvantage.
There's a good look at Paul, as you can see him right there with Brother Gary in the middle. And now it's...
Paul, do you think St. John's would do better if they brought the ball further out on the wing and then tried to cross the penalty area? They seem to be bringing it in too close too soon.
That's definitely a good point. They are trying to penetrate the middle, and they just don't have the strikers up front. I would like to see St. John's send their number 5 and one of their other midfielders through a little bit more to get some penetrating runs from the back.
They started to do that late in the second half, but they haven't, late in the first half, but they haven't done it since then.
Throw in now. St. John's heads it away. Now Chaminade intercepts. They'll have the ball leading by a goal. 18 minutes to go. We'll be picking a star of the game here, Brother Gary, at the end, and it's going to be a tough chore. We've got a lot of people nominated for it. I would have to think P.J. Maloney's got to be up there. Both goalkeepers have to be involved. Bobby Cullen from Chaminade. Who else could we put in there? There's quite a few that could be in there.
Danny Mueller is certainly moving that ball around the field. You know, I'm impressed with both goalkeepers because there's a lot of midfield play, but when it goes down into the goal area, both of them are ready for it.
Now St. John's will try to build it up. Talked about going wide. They did that time. Now tackled away, but St. John's recovering. Number 8 was there to make the play, and that was Danny Caruso. Paul?
You mentioned Bobby Cullen's name, and he's playing a fine game back there because he's free. I would think that St. John's, if they would put one of their central strikers up on him so that he would have a man to mark and wouldn't have the freedom to just pick these through balls off as you see him doing there.
1-0 the score. The goal came from John Cole. The assist was by McKenna at the 3-minute mark early in this game, and that's the only goal scoring we've had so far. Now Chaminade. What do you think, fellas? Could this wind up 1-0?
It certainly could wind up 1-0, but then again, St. John's is... See, this is where they should have brought the ball